Good afternoon, all the participants for this important webinar on audit trail. Yes, this is one of the important regulatory change which is going to affect our profession as well as the technology which is used in our audit, that is the software of the audit on the accounting softwares and many more things. And when we see that the word itself says it's an audit trail, but it is going to affect in a bigger format on our profession. And to discuss the number of issues, the number of fallouts, we have with us eminent personalities, very good speaker, and the format for today's discussion is that first we will have a session on the audit trail where the speaker will be Puneet Mehtaji. Then we will have a second part where Zoho experts will be there, Kunal Kumarji as a speaker. Both are chartered accountants. And to start this webinar, which is jointly organized by the Committee of Members in Practice and Auditing and Assurance Standard Board, we have with us Sanjeev Singhal sir, who is the chairman of AASB board, as well as virtually we have Chairman Prakash Sharma ji, who is the chairman of Committee of Members in Practice. And also virtually we have Vice Chairman Vishal Doshi ji of the Auditing and Assurance Standard Board. So with this brief note, with the welcome note, I will now request Vishal Doshi ji to please address to the members regarding today's webinar. Over to you, Vishal bhai.
Thank you very much, Umesh bhai. Very good morning to all the members present over here and the chairman of the Committee for Members in Practice, Prakash bhai, and my chairman at the AASB, Sanjeev bhai. Well, friends, as has already been mentioned by Umesh bhai, that the audit trail is the latest regulatory amendment that has been notified by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs under the company's rules. And that is an amendment that is going to impact all of us, the auditors as well as the auditees. And this audit trail, it talks about one, from the company side, that they have to maintain a software where the audit trail and the audit logs are activated, and the audit, the change log also has to be there. And then there are responsibilities that are being cast on the auditors also regarding the reporting and whether the features have been tampered with or not, or rather they're not tampered with, I would say. So with this, I would once again welcome all of you. Since there are going to be detailed deliberations on this, I would not take much time, but I take this opportunity once again to welcome all of you to this webinar in large numbers and wish you all a very happy learning. Thank you.
Bhai, in a short note, you have given a Vishal perspective about this audit trail, and now
Vishal bhai, just a minute. Please explain to our all the persons who are listening to us that it's software which you have developed for the banking sector. So still lots of people does not know. Please share that information also with
them. Actually, it's not a software for the banking sector. It is an audit tool for the bank branch auditors under the Center of Audit Quality, which we have launched. And this is an Excel tool where to bring in audit efficiency and I would say improving the audit quality with respect to the bank branch audits. They can, it's even if you have signed off the branch audits, which I presume most of you would have, you can still use that particular Excel tool, which is available from the CAQ Center for Audit Quality website of our institute, and that can be downloaded to ensure that the documentation requirement with respect to the bank branch audit that you have concluded is completed. And that is a very good tool which has a link to the guidance note on the bank audit that has been released by the AASB. And also it gives referencing and other facilities. So thank you, Prakash bhai. And I would still urge, remember, we have so far had 10,000 plus downloads of this particular tool, Excel utility, I would say, and members can still download that to ensure that their audit files with respect to the bank branch audit are completed. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vishal bhai, for the wonderful tool. 10,000 plus downloads. This shows the success of this tool. Now, friends, back to our audit trail subject, and we have none other than another expert, Chairman of Auditing and Assurance Standard Board, Sanjeev Kumar Singhal sir. Over to you, sir, to address our participants.
Thank you very much, Umesh bhai. Respected Vishal bhai, the Chairman of the Center for Audit Quality and the Vice Chairman Auditing Standard Board, respected Prakash Sharma ji, Chairman for Committee for Member in Practice. The Institute is happy to organize yet another program on audit trail, technically known as reporting under Rule 11G of the Companies Auditor and Auditors Rule 2014. Friends, this was supposed to be implemented 2 years ago, but on the demand of the industry, this has been deferred by 1 year initially, and then by 1 more year. Institute has issued this implementation guide from the Auditing and Assurance Standard Board on 25th of March 2023, and the implementation guide covers in great detail the various aspects of the audit trail which an auditor needs to keep in mind, and also the illustrative reporting under various situations of unmodified reporting and modified reporting. It also gives guidance for the standalone financial statement as well as the consolidated financial statements. It's indeed one of the biggest reform of the recent times in the corporate reporting, and this was much needed. This will enable transparency in the way the books of accounts are maintained, and a very I'll say an important responsibility has been cast on the profession to report whether the software which is used by the management for maintaining its books of accounts has audit trail or not, whether the audit trail feature has been tempered with during the period under reporting, and also whether the audit trail has been preserved for the requisite number of years, which is 1 + 8 years. Of course, in the first year, this reporting requirement of the record retention will not be applicable because this will be the first year of implementation, but in future years, this will be there. Also, this implementation guide clarifies a very important point, because inadvertently, what has happened that for the financial year 22-23, there is an obligation on the auditor to respond or to report on audit trail, whereas the companies are not required to maintain the audit trail. To remove this anomaly, after speaking to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Auditing Standard Board has incorporated this in the implementation guide that for the financial year 22-23, no such reporting by the auditor is required, since the record maintenance for audit trail is not required for the companies. So any accounting software which is used to maintain the books of accounts will have to have an audit trail feature. There are people who come back and say, we maintain the final financials in Excel, we maintain the fixed asset records in Excel, we maintain the consolidation entries in Excel, so whether these will be covered or not. So primarily my response to that will be that look at the original books of entry. As the commerce students, we have basically read that there are 8 books of original entry: the cash book, sales book, purchases book, sales return, purchase return, bills receivable, bills payable, and the journal proper. If an entry is going into any of these books, that needs to have an audit trail. However, if somebody is maintaining memoranda records of fixed assets, then it will not be applicable to that. But if an entry is flowing from that fixed asset record to the original books of entry, then an audit trail will be required to maintain. Similarly, for consolidation, if somebody is maintaining memoranda records, there the requirement of audit trail will not be applicable. However, if the elimination entries are maintained there and no separate books of accounts are there for the consolidation, then that software also needs to have an audit trail. It is primarily the responsibility of the management to choose an accounting software. It does not matter whether Excel has an audit trail or not, whether Tally, Zoho, or Busy has an audit trail or not. Of course, they do have. I believe that Tally, Zoho, Busy, etc., they have an audit trail. But I'm saying that even if they do not have, as an auditor, you don't need to bother about that. You will simply report that if the software used by the management did not have an audit trail feature, then you will simply report that the software did not have an audit trail feature. Some people come back saying that 1st April and 2nd April were the weekends, and so is it possible that if somebody has used audit trail from 3rd of April, is that okay? Well, management has a choice to use it from any date, but auditor has a responsibility to report. If for 2 days audit trail was not followed, please report through your audit report that audit trail was not followed for throughout the year, or audit trail was followed throughout the year except for these 2 days. An auditor will essentially need to do the ITAC and ITGC testing, IT application control and IT general controls. An auditor may do on its own or may use a third-party resource for that. You can rely on the work of an expert, but apply the proper auditing standard. Evaluate the competence of that expert, and only then consider that in your audit report. But finally, the auditor remains responsible for his final audit report. So I will say that this is a very appropriate and a very timely reform that has taken place for all the corporates. People say that what happens to small companies, what happens to Section 8 companies, what happens to foreign companies, what happens where Caro exemption is there. To all those companies, it is still applicable because law has not envisaged any exemption for those. So as an auditor of those companies, obviously, we cannot give any exemption while reporting. So far, it is not applicable to the non-corporate entities, but I'm sure that soon it will be extended to non-corporate entities, and that will be the right thing to do actually, which will help bring transparency. So I'm sure that today's webinar will throw more light on the practical aspects on how, if a member is working on particular software, then how the audit trail feature can be enabled and how it is to be maintained. Basically, it will record a track of the changes, the edit logs. And friends, in the times to come, we'll keep on doing more and more programs with more and more practical case studies. Thank you for joining. More than 1,000 members have joined, and I'm sure that member will feel enriched from today's webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjeev Singhal sir. And when we listen to the sir, we come to know that how the audit trail is going to impact on our auditor, on the management, complete ecosystem of accounting, and what are the fallouts. And as rightly pointed out by sir, this is going to be a start, and then it will slowly go to the non-corporate also along with the corporates. So we as a chartered accountant needs to be ready and ready with the technological impact, technological learning. Thank you, sir, for giving the overall picture of auditing trail and its impact on our overall ecosystem of auditing. Now we have with us Chairman of Members in Practice, Prakash Sharma ji, who is there virtually, who will throw light. वो प्रकाश डालेंगे कि ऑडिटिंग ट्रेल का रिलेटेड मैटर्स के ऊपर. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Umesh ji. Respected Sanjeev ji, Chairman Audit Committee. Respected Vishal ji, Vice Chairman Audit Committee. My Vice Chairman of Committee, Umesh ji, and moderator of today's session. Other staff of my office and friends, a very good morning to all of you. First of all, I would like to raise my sincere thanks to Chairman Audit Committee, who initiated this program. And we are today with you for doing this program virtually. Our planning is, and rather I should say, the biggest challenge to the institute is that how to update the knowledge of our members, how to inform them that what we are doing, and please, what we can do for you. If you have to remain in the practice, what you should do. So this program we are doing for you virtually, but in all big cities, we are coming personally also, physically also, to share with you the importance and use of this particular concept of the government. Friends, can you believe it? Today in the morning, I was having a flight of 6 from Delhi to Jaipur, coming from Delhi. And if I would have not been using Digi Yatra app, which is in Delhi available for entering in the airport, I would have missed the flight, because even I reached at the airport at 4:30. The queue was so long in the morning. I was so surprised that if I would have not used that Digi Yatra app, I would have not gone inside. I would have missed the flight. Sir, what I want to share with you, government is giving us more than sufficient time. The way our Sanjeev sir has said that this particular circular, which now has become applicable from 1st of April 2023, it was supposed to be implemented from 1st April 2021. But for 2 years, government has postponed us, and they have given a reasonable time to update ourselves. Friends, we have to understand very important aspect that due to implementation of 5G technology, things are changing drastically even in our profession. And technology is going to play a very, very biggest role. From last 2 years, time and again, I am sharing my one statement with all my members that please, 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 the compliance work which our practicing members are doing within implementation of 5G technology properly in our country, that work will be taken away by the government. We will be left with two types of work, that is advisory and litigation. So even in all those fields, we'll have to have a special knowledge of that particular subject. Well, I'm very much worried because most of our members, particularly in the segment, the area from where I come from, Central Region, most of the members are doing individual practice and doing majorly compliance work of different areas. But the way government is working, the way technology is changing, we have to accept one thing, that things are not going to be like that only. Friends, just on 21st of January, we have come out with office management software for all our members that is free of cost. And time and again, we are requesting all of you, still the download is only somewhere 4,500. And out of those downloads also, 2/3 firms have started using those software. Even 1/3 firms are those who have downloaded that software, but they have not started using that software. Friends, that is the first phase of that office management. Even in second phase, we will be linking that peer review matter with that software also. And even MEF form will be taken away from that software also, because in times to come, we'll be updating that software, and that will be very, very important software. See, just few days back, that in last month, Reserve Bank of India came out with the circular that the advances have to be covered 70% only. And lots of our branches have been taken away by different banks from audit. But we have to understand, friends, the way technology is changing, our concept is also changing. Why I requested Vishal Bhai to share with you that Excel tool, because the issue is all banking sector employees says that the branch auditors are not performing or their audit report is not up to the mark. And that is true. To large extent, that is true. Because now audits cannot be done manually. We'll have to use different tools. So intentionally, I requested Vishal Bhai. Vishal Bhai is himself, his firm is very big firm. They are the main central auditor, one of the main central auditor of State Bank of India. So why we want to update you, want to explain you the importance, please, we have to understand, even in banking sector, statutory audit of bank is only very, very small sector. There are so many other audits, AASM audit, forensic audits. All those audits can be done only and only by using different software. Even if you see the panel for forensic audit, which IB had come 2 years back, they were asking what tools you are using and how you are using. They were only allowed those firms who are doing their different forensic audit with using different software. So the things are not that simple, and we have to understand that we don't have any option except to change ourselves, to update ourselves according to the circumstances which are prevailing for ourselves. So now the concept of sample audit has gone. Now the concept is of 100% audit, and we'll have to understand that our financial audit is converting in a system audit. So please, friends, please gear up yourself, start using all those things which one institute is coming for you. Very soon we are coming up with audit tool that will be given free of cost to all our members. We are trying to give you within 2 months. So please keep yourself update, see regularly our website, and whatever new changes we are bringing, please update yourself. So I will not take much of the time, and over to Umesh ji. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir, for giving the details about the initiatives taken by ICAI for the development of our profession through Committee of Members in Practice. And as rightly pointed out by Prakash sir, the practice management software, which is also a technological initiative, system audit gaining up, manual intervention, old style of auditing has gone, then bank audit turning into more or more a technology audit. And also sir has given us that audit tools are going to be issued by ICAI, the software in future.
Better.
So these are the initiatives of members in practice committee. And very important part that now on each day the technology is changing, but being a chartered accountant, when I look toward the other areas of our practice, say for example consultancy in GST, from July 2017 onwards, GST law had these all the functions that invoicing need to be maintained, you cannot tamper the invoicing. Then came the e-invoicing function. In income tax also you have seen the technological change, faceless assessments. Now you cannot change the submissions which you have made manually, different things were there. So slowly in each area the technology is gaining much more importance, and we have to be ready with all the changes. Chat GPT 4 has come up, which is bringing more technological changes in our practice, in our future endeavors of practice. Microsoft is coming with the co-pilot mode of MS Office 365, which will help the members to resolve the issues of drafting at a larger extent, resolve the issues of Excel, because only 10% functions of Excels are used by members in large. 90% functions are yet not been used. So all this will be done by technological assistance, which is a co-pilot or chat GPT 4. So friends, this was our first inaugural session with a brief introduction of the topic and giving you the glimpses that what the ICAI is doing as an accounting standard board, and also as a members in practice, and overall what the ICAI is thinking about the future of our profession. So now we are back to our first session. The first session is going to be taken up by none other than Puneet Mehta. And Puneetji, as your name suggests, you are Shuddh, means pure, Puneet, and also as a Uttam, matlab badhiya. And friends, he is one of the best faculty on the tally subject. He is a chartered accountant, but he is a technocrat who knows how tally works, and he has gone beyond that, what a member can think. He has designed a module for the builders, for the C&F agent, for the schools, for the colleges, a special module he has designed which can be used and integrate with the tally. So he is a technological expert as well as a knowledge subject experts, and we are very fortunate to have him as a speaker. So please welcome Puneet Mehta ji with a loud applause. There are near about 2,500 plus participants virtually, so it's increasing, and the number will slowly increase more. So with this words of wisdom, we welcome you, Puneet Mehta ji, and over to you for the first session that is related to audit trail and more related to the tally software and the audit trail concept. Over to you, Puneet bhai.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Umesh bhai. It is indeed a pleasure to be on our own ICAI platform, and I am indeed overwhelmed to be here and would like to give my best whatever is possible today. With those things, I respected CA Sanjeev Kumar ji, CA Vishal Doshi ji, and CA Prakash ji. All of you, thank you very much for taking up the overall perspective of what is audit trail and how things are. And I'm really happy to see that the software that you have designed for banking purposes is getting such huge good response. And we'll see how more it can promote over to all the members. And let me share my screen. Friends, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So the topic for today is demystifying audit trail. And as Umesh rightly mentioned, that Tally Prime being widely used software, we will see what are the aspects available in Tally Prime in terms of what are the what we can do of for the purpose of this subject of edit log. Okay, so flow of today's discussion would be, we'll go straight away to Tally Prime edit log walkthrough as to what are the aspects which are available for the software, prerequisites before updating the software, common questions that are being answered that can come to users' mind, and Q&A maybe during the session or after Kunal bhai's session. Okay, so with this, let me take you directly to Tally Prime. I'm opening a company with a username A, password A. Okay, and here the software which I have used is normal Tally Prime with a small option of edit log. Okay, here which is there. Okay, so how and what is to be required? Suppose I am passing a voucher. Okay, I am passing one voucher of petty cash payment. Right. So this voucher that I have passed. Okay, and if I go and check my day book, it is there. Of course, this voucher is there, and once I click on a button called Alt Q, it says that on 19th of April, 12:31, this is created. Okay. While I have not activated any other function, I have not activated any functionality which is supposed to be high technical or other things. I have just created a vouchers. Now one may say, okay, this was just a creation of vouchers. Here it is there. Okay, I'll go to another vouchers, advertisement expense, and I will just change the expense amount to another amount and save it. The moment I save it, I can click on button called Alt Q. It says that this voucher was created on 19th of April by A and altered by A again at 12:32, which is the current time. What was the creation and alter? I just click on this. So Tally has got simple functionality that whatever be the number of times the software has been or the data has been modified or updated or created, it takes up all the functionality. So while the subject requires lot of deliberation of lot of what and why and how it is, what Tally is suggesting is that you kindly go and do as if whatever you are supposed to do. The accountant is supposed to check or enter the transaction that he is doing it, and if he has modified it 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, or maybe n number of time, all the modification would be appearing out here. So in case I modify it once again, I just modify the narration and accept it. Okay, the same voucher, and I click on button called Alt Q. It says that this has been modified 3 times. Okay, version 3, version 2, version 1. This is what Audit Trail is all about in Tally Prime, that once you get the modification or creation of voucher is as simple as you are posting the entry. Friends, what does the Audit Trail requirement is? Who has done it, when he has done it, what he has done it. Okay, so the software is enabled to check what, who, when. Okay, while some people do ask whether why has to be there or not, but that is not what the government or the notification is requiring. So what is required, who has done it, what he has, what is the modification, and when it is. It is not just the modification in voucher which is there. Okay, it is Tally takes up to entire chart of accounts or modification in any ledger. Suppose in this ledger is the Indian agency, we make a change, that a change in contact details. And we save this. Okay, so in here also what Tally has given a simple tool, Control B, which, okay, basis of value, what you want to see, whether you want to see all ledgers or altered ledgers. So you say altered ledgers, and do you want to wish to see deleted ledgers? Yes. So here we get that what modification was done, and Alt Q. So on 19th April, there was a modification at 12:35 and the phone number was modified. That's it. So what Tally is suggesting is that if you are a company for which MCA guidelines are applicable for, and for that matter, all the companies MCA guidelines are applicable, what you need to do is to use simple Tally Prime edit log. And once we are activated the Tally Prime edit log, how do you get it, what you get it, that I'll come on that. Here in the company level screen, we get that when this company data was moved from Teleprime, that is from normal Teleprime to Teleprime edit log. In case the edit log is not active throughout the year, you will get the list out here. Whether the data can move from normal Teleprime to edit log or edit log to Teleprime, that is also possible in case the user wants it. But whatever he does, the software would record each and every aspect of the movement of the data. And this would enable the auditor to give the remark that whether the audit trail was available for the entire year or not. Okay, so friends, I will just take a brief once again that one can go to display daybook for seeing whatever transactions are altered. Okay, whatever transactions have been altered or in case they have been deleted. So you just have to press on a button called Control B. Type of vouchers, altered, non-altered, I say altered. And do I wish to see deleted vouchers? Yes, in case they have been deleted. So only 2 vouchers have been altered. Yeah. And you can just see that how many times they have been altered. Alt Q, clicking on button called Alt Q, right? So let me delete a transaction, spacebar, and deleting a transaction, and Control B, show report for altered voucher, include deleted voucher. Yes. Yes. So this is the voucher which has been deleted, and you can see that this voucher was created on 19th April 11/17, 3 times, which was modified, and finally it was deleted. And when I click on alter, I get all the, when I click again, go inside, I get all the details. So what I wish to say is that simple, use Teleprime edit log in case your client or the client is wanting to maintain the audit trail as per the government notification. They just have to use the Teleprime edit log. So who, when, where, everything is there in the software itself. Okay. Let me take you through the presentation. There may be some question and answers, FAQs, which are there. Let me take you through all of them one by one. Right. So as I said, this Teleprime edit log is compliant from day one without needing to change the way. As we can see, there is absolutely no change in the method of entering the transaction. So the user may think that the edit log or audit trail would be something really difficult. No, it is not. Okay. All you need to upgrade to Teleprime edit log and it will take care of the rest. Let me take you to one more screen, which is how do you get Teleprime edit log? So go to telesolutions.com, download, and here it is. You can download it from this particular version, Teleprime edit log, on the right hand side. While there are the licensing requirement for Teleprime 2.1 and 2.1 edit log are the same. So there is no additional cost for the users for updating that. If they can download Teleprime release 2.1, they can also download Teleprime edit log as well. So those users who may have proprietorship, partnership as their in the data and MCA compliant companies, they can operate with both Teleprime 2.1 and Teleprime 2.1 edit log. Okay, so what are the prerequisites when we download the software of before we download Teleprime? Okay, those users who are from Tele ERP 9 should ensure that their machine is 64-bit machine. Okay, because TelePrime comes only with 64-bit RAM availability. Use, enable and activate the user details. Users can activate the security details from the normal TelePrime. Okay, the data size is going to increase because earlier TelePrime was not recording the trail of each and every transaction, but now it is getting recorded. Okay, so the data size and the hard disk size should be enough for the users to ensure that the software does not get slowed down. Okay, so free hard disk space should be available. Per user in a network environment, we suggest about 1.5 GB to 2 GB of user RAM should be available. And the main important change when it happens from normal TelePrime, the data migration happens, the voucher numbering is changing. Okay, as has been earlier, automatic numbering. From automatic numbering, the users are the migration process ensures that the voucher number change, the type of numbering changes from automatic to manual auto numbering. So this is the most important change which happens in the migration. Other than that, it is absolutely the same, which is the data which is the same for the earlier period and the earlier version and the new version. For users, they may wish to split the data in case they require to. So would recommend to split the data before moving to the new version. So that is one it is. Okay. The some FAQs which normally comes along with this. Will the user be able to disable the edit log capability in the TelePrime edit log? No. There is no option given for disabling the edit log in the edit log product. Okay. For the normal user, they may continue to use TelePrime. Can the user compare the selected version? Okay. Yes, they can compare the selected version. As I showed you, version 3, version 2, version 1, whatever it is, they can see the comparison and they can ensure that it is that. Will data size get impacted by having edit log for each and every modification of the transition? As I told, sir, yes, the data size is expected to increase marginally, keeping in mind the version history of each and every change, which needs to be maintained for each and every transaction. Right. The edit log modification, which is that, is available for both ledger groups, stock items. Okay, so the same functionality we can get it for stock items also. How many times it has been modified, how many times it has been when it was created, and all those things. We've already seen this flexibility to filter report on the basis of only deleted transaction. Okay. Track edit log for company data migrated from previous version. We've seen this Alt K when we see when the version was updated from normal TelePrime to TelePrime edit log. Okay. Will the data be compatible with the previous release after moving to TelePrime edit log? No, it will not be compatible. You will be able to use it in TelePrime edit log only. Okay. Otherwise, data versioning would be kept and that would be reported by the auditor. One important question that comes along with that, the users are splitting the data. And when the users are splitting the data, would the splitted company have the data for the suppose period from 1/4/23 to 30th September or whatever that would that edit log also be splitted? Yes, it will be retained in both the companies which is created after the split. This activity will get recorded at the company level as well. One question which a lot of our users are asking, can edit log be completely removed or record by record? No. If you are, when you are using the MCA compliant edit log, then you cannot remove the edit log, because that is what the compliance itself states. Okay, so transaction and masters, when the sync happens, many users are using synchronization options. So in the sync or in the import functionality, only the user sync or the import button would be there. So the edit log would not get synced. The data sensitivity for the individual data company would remain there itself. It would not get transported from one company to another company when you are merging it for the purpose of synchronization. Okay. Okay. Now let us come to the MCA requirement. What all information gets captured in the edit log? Version history for ledgers, ledgers group, stock items. Okay. Version history for all the configuration. Now, many times the configuration are also enabled. So if you see in the master, there is a option for credit limit. So in case the user goes and increases the credit limit or decreases the credit limit, that configuration is also getting recorded. As we saw, the configuration in terms of narration or configuration in terms of address, change in address is also recorded. So any change which is made, it will be recorded. Okay. It will be shown to the user at the voucher level, master level, and the reports. This also many times people are asking, can customization report be built accessing the edit log data? Yes, they can build customization in case user wants to. Tally Prime currently is not having functionality of sending the edit log in Excel mode or showing only the print of the what are the version history which is there. I am expecting the users to use more and Tally company to bring out that export or printing of the edit log option itself. Okay, so that we may be having it. We are not having it currently, printing or exporting of the edit log or the versions which how many changes has made and who has changed it. Okay. Can edit log be viewed from browser or mobile reports? No, currently individually only we can see it. Yes, edit log can be backed up. Friends, the accounts audit accounts rules has been modified, and as mentioned by the Umesh bhai, that we have to have our record for 1 + 8 years. So the edit log or data will also have the backup. Whenever we are taking the backup of the data, you will also have along with that the edit log backup. So the data or the edit log data is always retained, even if the user tries to disable it in the normal Tally Prime. In the Tally Prime edit log version, they cannot disable it. But in case the user is using the rewriting it data, opening it in the normal Tally Prime, the edit log information will get retained in that as well. Okay. So one can use both single license for normal Tally Prime edit log as well as for this thing. Can the same data be allowed to access simultaneously by the two different products? No. Tally Prime and Tally Prime edit logs are different products. User will not be able to access the data simultaneously. If the user tries to do it, it will ask for the migration. That's it. Tally Prime is also coming up, is also there available on the AWS. So will the edit log version work on AWS? Yes, it is available on the AWS also. Some of the users are using Tally Prime server. So it is working, Tally Prime edit log is working for both Tally Prime server as well as Tally Prime normal Tally Prime. Okay, user using customization. Okay, will that be available in Tally Prime edit log? Yes. So any customization you have used it along with the version changes, those options would also be available. Right. So with this, I am currently stopping my presentation and open to Q&A in case it is required, or Umesh bhai?
Session in the last. So I would request for the next session. So we are having here with us CA Kunal Kumarji, who will be taking the next session. So I'll introduce Mr. Kunalji. Kunal sir, can we have you on the screen? Yeah, he's there. So
Yes.
Mr. Kunal, I'll introduce Mr. Kunal. Kunal Kumarji is he's a chartered accountant, and he specializes in accounting and taxation services for small and medium-sized business. So over 8 years, he's having 8 years of experience, and he has become the expert in helping business streamline their accounting processes and adopt cloud-based solutions for greater efficiency. And he's particularly knowledgeable about the Zoho books and helps business automate their accounting process and improve their financial management. So today in the webinar, he will be taking how the auditors can leverage Zoho books to view audit trails, importance of maintaining audit trails in accounting, and how Zoho books make it easy to track changes to financial transactions. So, sir would be also demonstrating how auditors can use Zoho books to access audit trails and generate reports to ensure compliance and accuracy in financial reporting. So, Kunal sir, I'll give the session to you. You may take the session now.
Thank you, Priyanshu ji. And I would first of all, I would like to thank you, the ICAI and Auditing and Assurance Standard Board of ICAI for conducting such kind of webinar. So this is really very helpful to all of our professional community. So now I would like to share my screen so that I can start my presentation. Just give me a second. I hope you can see my screen now. So yeah, so my name is Kunal Kumar, and it's my pleasure to be here to talk to you about the importance of audit trail in Zoho books. So in this webinar, I will be discussing how auditors can leverage Zoho books to view the audit trail. So first of all, I would like to tell you about what Zoho books is. And first of all, I would like to start from very basics. Zoho books is a cloud-based accounting software which is very helpful for managing your all accounting, like managing invoice, bills, GST filing, TDS, and everything. You can manage everything with Zoho books, the accounting software, and its mobile app is also available. So as MC has notified the new regulation audit trail, so this feature is also available in this Zoho books. So Zoho books is an accounting software that provides feature to track financial transaction, manage invoice, and one of the important feature of Zoho books is the audit trail. So what is audit trail? Audit trail means you need to keep track of each and every record, like who has created the invoice, who has modified the invoice, and which user has deleted the invoice, and approval of the transaction. So this is the audit trail. An audit trail means maintaining all the records in chronological order so that later on this will be helpful in analyzing whatever happened in the accounting software. So why this audit trail? How you have to prepare for this audit trail as a individual or as a business owner or as a chartered accountant? What we have to do? We need some kind of preparation. So 4 things we need to prepare. First of all, we have to check whether this whatever accounting software we are using that has feature of audit trail or not. So this thing we have to check and analyze if the accounting software must have the feature of audit trail so that we can comply with new notification MCA guidelines. And not just that, there should also be the feature like user cannot disable it permanently or temporary. So audit feature should be there, audit trail feature should be there, and it should also be there, like we cannot disable this audit trail feature. Second thing we need to prepare about, like we have to create user and roles in our accounting software. Why it is important? Because if there is only one user in our accounting software, then we will not able to track like who has made the changes, who has deleted the invoice. So it is very much necessary we should create different roles and users in the accounting software, so that later on we can check like Mr. A has created the invoice, Mr. B has approved the invoice, and Mr. C has deleted the invoice. So users and its role must be defined in your accounting software. That is very much important. Third thing we need to prepare about is keep your staff informed. In our organization or in your business, you need to inform your staff that this new MCA guideline is came up, and from 1st April 2023, we need to comply with this. And fourth thing we need to do is review audit trail regularly. We need to check on monthly basis or maybe like quarterly basis. We should review our audit trail so that we can check if there is any fraud or any error in our accounting. Sorry. So this four things we need to prepare about. Now, how to enable the audit trail in Zoho Books? This is very important question. Like this is like how we can enable this. Do we have to do any settings or something like that? So I would like to tell you, audit trail feature is by default enabled in Zoho Books, all plans, whether you are using free plan, standard plan, professional plan, elite plan, or any plan you are using, audit trail available by default in all plans of Zoho Books. And one more thing is there. It is also enabled for any kind of entity, even if you are sole proprietorship, partnership, company, NGO, any kind of business or organization you are running. So audit trail is there. You cannot disable it anytime, either temporary or permanently. So you just don't have to do anything. So now I'll tell you like how we can record one sale. I'll show you how practically how we will record one sale, and we will see how this audit trail works. So let's see practically by recording one sale invoice in Zoho Books. So how we will record one sale invoice? First, we will add one customer, then we will create one item, then we will create one invoice, and then we will see how this audit trail will work. So let me show you the other screen. Let me show you the other screen. I hope now you all members can see my screen of Zoho Books. Yes. Just let me check. Yes. So now I hope you can see this dashboard of Zoho Books. This is the home page. Once you sign up or create an account with Zoho Books, you will get this type of screen on your home page. So in left hand side, you can see home, items, banking, sales, purchase, time tracking, e-way bill, GST filing, accountant, reports. So these are the modules which are available in Zoho Books. So let's see how we will create one sale invoice. I'll click on sales. Then what I will do, I will create one customer. So let's see how we can add one customer in Zoho Books. So I am just clicking on this plus icon, or you can also create on this new button with blue icon. So I'm just clicking on this plus button. So now let's say I'm adding one organization, PQR Private Limited. So we'll add other details, but here I'm just keeping it short and just feeding all the important details which are required. So PQR Limited, and I'm keeping it as unregistered business. So I'm just creating one new customer. You can fill all other details like email ID, phone number, website, GST detail, GST number, place of supply, address, everything. But I am right now just keeping it short. So just saving it. So once we save it, you can see we have created new customer, and now I will create one new invoice. So let's see how we can create one new invoice. So I'm just clicking, I'm going to this invoice button, and just you can see this plus icon. I'm clicking on this plus icon. Let's see now I have chosen the entity for which I want to raise an invoice. So I would like to raise invoice for PQR Private Limited. So you can see its dashboard is very much easy. Any commerce student can manage or create sales invoice very easily in Zoho Books. So customer name we have selected, place of supply is already there. Invoice number will automatically come, invoice date, today's date. So we can all customize all these things according to our requirement. So now let's see, I'm creating this invoice, and let's say I'm creating this invoice for accounting services. For example, amount is anything like 15,000, 50,000 or something like that. So now we can select the GST rate. Currently, I'm taking it as out of scope. I'm ignoring GST for just for now. And you can see total amount, and just you can see I am clicking on this save as draft. So this new invoice has been created. You can see in just 1 or 2 minutes, you can less than a minute, you can create this sales invoice. Now I'm clicking on this mark as sent so that this invoice can be posted in our ledgers. So now you can see on this invoice on right hand side top, there is an option on clicking comments and history. So you can see Kunal Kumar has created invoice on 19th April at 1:02 p.m. and this invoice has been marked as sent. So this is creating all the history when this invoice has created, who has created. So all these things are here. So now if I would like to edit my invoice, for example, I would like to change my amount, or maybe I would like to change the party. So how I will go, I will click again on edit. So once I click on edit, now I try to change the amount. For example, now I want to change this 15,000 to 50,000. Let's see what will happen. Now I again try to click on save. So it's asking, why would you like to change the invoice? So I would like to have, I need to mention the comments like as per new agreement, maybe. So I have just saved my comment, and now you can see this invoice has been changed from 15,000 to 50,000. So now again, when I check on comments and history, then you can see Kunal Kumar has updated the invoice and changed the amount from 15,000 to 50,000 as per new agreement. So you can see audit trail is very much available. Everything is like tracked by Zoho Books in the accounting software. So now let's see how we can move further. Let me go to my presentation again. Yes. So now I hope you have seen how we can create a sale invoice in Zoho Books. Now it's very much important to understand how we can export audit trail report from Zoho Books. Because as an auditor, this report is very much important for us while reporting or complying with MCA notification. So now let's understand how to export audit trail report from Zoho Books. So now I'm going again in the software to demonstrate you now how we can export the report. I hope now you can see my screen again. This is a Zoho dashboard. I'm coming again here. So in the left hand side, there is home, items, banking, and other things, GST filing. Now once you click on this report section, so you will get so many reports here, like business overview report, sales report, receivables report, payment receipt reports, but we have to check the audit trial report or audit logs. So you go down and you go to this activity. So once you go to this activity, there is an option activity and logs audit trail. You can also mark it as a favorite by clicking on this button. So once you click on this, you can see this is the audit log and audit trail activity from 1st April 2023 to 30th April 2023. If you want to customize it, you can also customize it. You can just, if I want to see for today's, so I will just click on this today button. So you can see whatever happened in our accounting software like on 19th April 2023. You can see today's audit log. PQR invoice has been created. This customer has been created by Kunal Kumar. Now invoice is created by Kunal Kumar for PQR Private Limited, and then invoice has been sent to the client, and then invoice is updated. Like I have updated the invoice also. So this you can track everything, and everything is timestamp over here. Like at 12:38 p.m., 1 p.m., 1 2 p.m., 1 2 p.m., 1 4 p.m. So you can see this is the audit log report which you can export from this Zoho Books accounting software. Even if you want to export this report for complete financial year, then what you can do, you can just click on this icon and you just click on this year. Now you can see for this audit log is available, audit trail is available for whole financial year, complete financial year, and everything is available. Like total count is also available from 1st April 2023 up to the as on date 31st March 24, or you can say 19th April 23. Everything is available in this report. Even if you want, you can schedule this report to the key person in your organization, or maybe your internal auditors or other people. So you can schedule this report on weekly basis or monthly basis. You just have to click on the schedule button and then email recipient name and how do you want to schedule this report in Excel format, PDF format. This you can also do. One more thing is there. Even if you want to share this report, you can also share with the users. You want to take a printout of this report, you can take a printout also in PDF format and keep it as a working paper. And if you want to export it as an Excel file, then you can also do that. I'm just clicking on this export and you can see now this complete file has been exported. And now I will show you this Excel file, how this Excel file is. Yeah. So I hope now you can see the Excel file. So this data is completely available in Excel file for the organization from 1st April 23 to 24. And you can see activity date, activity time, description, username, everything is there. Now, if you want to see like how many invoices are deleted in complete financial year or updated, then you can click on this filter and then check how many invoices or bills or records are deleted. Then you can check like these invoices are deleted by the organization, or you can also see which user has deleted this invoice, and you can also see at what time this has been deleted. So everything is mentioned over here. So this report is very much helpful for our auditor. You can see for detecting error and fraud in the organization. So now let's see. Let's go again to our presentation. So I hope you have understood, all members have seen like how to export audit trail report from Zoho Books. So now one more important question is there. Like it's a cloud-based accounting software. It's not like a traditional accounting software for which whole data is available in our computer. It's like a cloud-based, like a Gmail. So how we can take a data backup from this Zoho Books? So it's very easy. What you can do. I'm again coming to the dashboard or home page of this Zoho Books. Now you can see on right hand side top, there is a settings button. When you click on the setting button and go down, and second last option, you can see data backup. So when you click on this data backup, you can back up all your data in Excel format, or you can say in CSV format. You can get all CSV file of your estimate, invoices, and credit note, and you can keep your data backup for your compliance purpose. Even if you want to take a backup of documents, if you have any uploaded with your invoice or any bills, if you have any uploaded any documents, then you can also take a backup of your documents also. So it's very easy to take a backup of your data in Zoho Books. So now let's see, after this backup, data backup, so Zoho Books allow you to export all your data in single compressed file. So you can export this, and I have already shown you how you can take this data better. So now let's talk about the privacy and security, which is also very much important concern for every organization. So Zoho I would like to tell you that Zoho never sold its information as per company policy. They don't sold any information to someone else for advertising and to make money by showing it to other people ad, and that's a company policy. And about the data security, जो भी आपका data होगा, data security का, that will be kept by the organization in India server. So when you click sign up for the Zoho books, then you need to select on which server you want to sign up. For example, if you are creating account in zoho.in domain, then your data will be kept in India or India server. Or when you are like signing up for zoho.com, then your data will not be kept at India server. That will be maybe a US server or any other server. So as a user, we need to check when we are signing up for Zoho account, then we need to sign up for zoho.in portal. So data center where your data is stored is selected automatically based on country chosen by you while signing up for Zoho services. So I hope my presentation would make you aware about this Zoho books and how this Zoho books works. So if you have any further, thank you very much for your attention. So if you have any questions, then we can take the questions right now. And now I would like to thank you everyone for giving me this chance to show this presentation.
Thank you so much, sir, Kunal sir, for the wonderful deliberation, as well as Puneet sir for detailed and lucid deliberation on this audit trail. We have received certain queries relating to this audit trail. If you permit, can we raise all those queries and questions to both the learned speakers?
Yes,
Sure,
sir.
Yes, sir. Puneet sir, there is one question. A company has maintained books of accounts for financial year 2022-23 using a software having audit trail feature. Through it is not mandatory for 22-23. In the audit of such company, whether auditor is required to report under Rule 11G of Companies Act, Audit and Auditors Rule 2013.
So even if the company has maintained use that software where audit trail is available, and or if it is not available, as mentioned by our learned speaker just before our technical session, that the institute has taken permission from Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So that particular paragraph, that whether audit trail was available or not, is not required to be maintained, because the company accounts rule has been made applicable. The 11G rule has been made applicable from 1/4/23 as such. So even if
Yes,
they maintained, that's great. Even if they have not maintained, I don't think so that is required. I think Umesh Bhai or Vishal Bhai had mentioned it in their deliberation that no reporting requirement is required as such.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So whether it is applicable to small companies and OPC 1% company?
Yeah. So the rule is not bifurcating amongst small company or big company. It is applicable for all the companies which are registered under Ministry of Corporate Affairs, MCA. So private limited companies, it is for all the private limited companies or Section 8 companies, everyone, this rule 11G is applicable, and they will have to maintain their accounts. If they are maintaining it in electronic form, that the software should have a feature of audit trail. That is what it is.
So another question, whether it is what would be the impact on updating opening balances and on year-end provisioning?
So we can take up as I had shown the when we are looking at the masters. So masters modification is of all about, whether it is of opening balance, whether it is of change in structure, chart of accounts, or anything. If we have modified any change in a single change also in masters, that would be recorded in the edit log trail. So all of those would be recorded, whether it is split or whether it is changing in opening balance. So that would be recorded. The only requirement is that user should be using the edit log function of release 2.1. That is the version of edit log. That is what the requirement is.
Okay, sir. Okay. So another question is, in case of assessee having separate factory premises and accounts premises, stock entry are made on weekly basis. When we receive the stock registry from the factory, these entries are made after moving backwards from the current date. What were the impacts with the respect to audit trail?
So when we are maintaining accounts manually, okay, or whether the books of accounts are here, you are saying that some of the books of accounts are maintained in a manual mode and the others are there in the software mode. Okay, so here the auditor will have to use his professional judgment as to whether whenever the entries are updated in the electronic form, whether they are having an edit log or not. So for those which books of accounts which are maintained in manual mode, whether proper working is available, I mean, that is for the professional judgment of auditor to decide. Okay. As such, there is no bar or there is no stoppage of the whether the users cannot use the manual books. No, if he wishes, he can use it for memorandum books, as was mentioned before me, that for memorandum books, there is no edit log or audit trail requirement is there. But in case any electronic books are being used and whether the option, the stock statement comes within the books of accounts, they will have to maintain the edit log or audit trail for that as well.
Kunal sir, there is one question for you. Is maintaining accounts digitally mandatory for all the companies? What if a very small company decides to maintain accounts manually?
So I think Puneet sir would like to, I would like to add Puneet sir in this also. According to me, maintaining accounts in manual format is allowed, but every company is need to maintain its accounts in digital format. What do you say, Puneet sir, about this?
No, I slightly disagree. While manual books of accounts are still allowed, in case they are maintaining it in electronic format, then the provision of this particular circular or 11G would be applicable. If they have maintained it in manual format, there is absolutely no problem, but they will have, the auditor will have to satisfy themselves that yes, the books have been maintained in a manual books and no electronic form would be there, and that has to be mentioned in the reporting requirements.
But when we have to maintain in digital format, then audit trail feature should be there in your books of accounts.
Yes. If they have maintained it in digital format, then audit trail feature is electronic format. Now, electronic format could be anything. It could be Tally, it could be Zoho, it could be BZ or any other software. But whatever software that they are using, it should have a feature of audit trail. That is it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So whether it is applicable for insurance company, is there any exemption has been provided to them?
Currently, I have not seen any exemption, sir.
Because MC has not yet notified any kind of exemption on this right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, one question is, in case where books of accounts are finalized at CA firm office, how will audit trail be maintained?
So it's a client responsibility to maintain an audit trail. So because as a company, you need to maintain a books of accounts, whether you want to maintain it yourself or if you want, you can outsource it to any other accountant or chartered accountant. But as a company, it's your responsibility to comply with MCA guidelines. And as an auditor, we need to report if audit trail is not available while maintaining the books of accounts.
Yes, sir. And sir, what complications can be foreseen where accounting functions has been outsourced to a vendor partially or fully?
So I think while outsourcing, we need to do a service level agreement or other agreements. So it's a company responsibility to check whether all the compliance has been made by or not. So I think this is to be ensured by the organization only.
Yes, sir.
Anilji,
Ji, sir.
small thing that I would like to add, that in case the users have outsourced their accounting, okay,
Yes,
to a
sir.
different chartered accountant or to somebody else, it is mandatory for them to keep the backup of the data on a daily basis. So they will have to provide a system that, because the accounts rules has been modified in the last year on 11th of August 2022, which says that the data should be available with the company at all times. Now that all times include those times when the data is getting updated by the other third party vendor. Okay, so the company will have to ensure that the data is available with them, maybe in a backup format or whatever it is, whether they are using Tally or anything. So they will have to ensure that, first thing. Second thing, that in case the accounts have been completely outsourced outside India, so they will have to provide the details of IP address and the service providers, and as mentioned by Kunal bhai, that the details of their that has to also to be reported to the companies ROC form. Okay, so all those things is also required to be ensured that the user, the companies must ensure that, one, the backups of the data which is used by the chartered accountant or the accountant for the accounting is kept at or is available with them at all times. And the second is that in case the third person is entering the data, you should have a service level agreement, or along with the service level agreement, you should also know who is the service provider, what is the IP address, what are the details which is there, and which needs to be submitted to the ROC in your annual filing. So that is also required.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Priyanshu sir, you are also having certain queries of the members. You may please take. Priyanshu ji.
Yeah, I'm taking the queries.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, sir, there is a question. Do we have to keep the record of audit trail? Any specific format is prescribed? And what to report when there are changes are made post-transaction are entered initially?
So I think there is no format, but we need to keep three things in mind, like who is changing the data, when data is changing, and what modification has been made. So this three things we have should be there available, whether in Excel format or like in web format. So these three things should be available, like who has changed the data, who has who created the data, and what modification has been made, and date on which modification has been made. But
Yes.
I don't think MC has specified any format for this.
True. So while no format has been specified as to what data has to be kept in audit trail, the requirement of keeping the edit log is 1 plus 8 years. I mean the current year plus the 8 years. So that one must ensure that for next 8 years, the current year data is available in the edit log. Along with the normal accounts data, the edit log details, okay, the versions of how many modifications or whatever it is also kept for the user by the users.
So while taking the data backup of accounting, we need to take a backup of our accounting log as well.
Okay, sir. So there is a question: what are the panel provision on company and management with respect to non-implementation of audit trail?
I think it's not has been specified as yet. What do you say, Punit sir?
Kunal sir, you're right. While there is no specific penal provisions have been specified, but what as I have been told to understand that there would be one adverse reporting by the auditor that the companies have not followed the requirement of the MCA guidelines. One. Second is, as per the general rules, the director is responsible to maintain the accounts and that thing. And under the general rules, while there is no specific requirement of the edit log or functionality is there, if the proper books of accounts are not maintained, and if those things are not there, I think there is a penalty clause for that for the officer of the company, who is the sending authority or the directors, and the accounts officer, and that penalty could go up to 5 lakhs also. So while there is no specific penalty against this, the general accounts rules, if the accounts have not been maintained, can be made applicable, and in that the penalties clause are has already been mentioned by the MCA.
Okay, sir. Another one is in case of small companies where accounts are made after year end in one shot, what is the duty of the auditor and the client?
So how the accounts have been maintained at one shot? If they are manual, the auditor will be specifying that the user have not maintained the accounts in electronic format. Okay, so they have been manual. In case they are in electronic format, so the auditor will have to report that at all times the data was not available during the financial year. So the auditor will have to use his professional judgment, and according to that, give the requirement. I think guidance can be taken by the implementation guidance can be taken from that, and according to that the auditor should report whether the trail or audit trail was available during the entire year, and that is applicable for whether it is for small companies or for large companies. For both of them it is applicable.
And plus, I would like to add one more thing here, like for as per Companies Law or Companies Act, we need to maintain our accounting regularly. So here you can see we are not maintaining our accounts regularly. We are just maintaining or doing all the entries at year end. So here auditor need to check that whether accounts has been maintained regularly or not.
Okay, sir. Sir, the question is for Puneet, sir. Do we have to change or alter any settings in Tally to enable audit trail, or will it be activated on its own? One more question on Tally is if in one Tally we maintain the data for firm and company, and then it would enable in both the data, how to maintain that?
Okay, let me take you to my screen once again.
Okay, sir.
So friends, if you see my desktop, we have two Tally version, Tally Prime and Tally Prime Edit Log. Okay, now if your company which is requiring to use or which is coming under the guidance of MCA, they will have to use this Tally Prime Edit Log. How you get it? I have already showed in my presentation earlier that you can download it from Tally Solutions website. Okay, so that is what it is. Once you are using this Tally Prime Edit Log, there is no other setting which is required to be done. Absolutely no other setting which is required to be done for Tally, for the users to enable or disable the edit log, because this is EL, Tally Prime Edit Log comes with the specific requirement of the user not being able to disable it. Okay, now for the users who are not under this MCA compliance, companies may use normal Tally Prime, and they can continue to operate in the data as they wish to. Yeah.
One of the company usually does its accounting on monthly basis. It has enabled its Tally Prime Edit Log on 18th April 2022. So how it will be reported in audit report?
That also, I think my friend, the person who's asking the question might have missed the earlier session. The auditor will have to report whether the audit trail was available throughout the year. Now, Umesh Bhai had taken up this, that in case 1st April was holiday, 2nd April was holiday, and they have enabled it from 3rd of April. Even if it is for 2 days, the auditor will have to report that the edit log or the audit trail of the data was available from such and such date. And as in your example, it was available from 18th of April. The auditor will have to report, as for my understanding, as provided by Umesh Bhai before the start of the session, during the start of the session.
Okay, sir. Does inventory entities like production will get covered under the audit trail?
So Sanjeev ji during the start of the session had mentioned that the books of accounts includes the inventory books of accounts also. So ideally they should also be available. If they are digital, they have to be available with the audit trail as well. So inventory software, if they are maintained in manually or some other Excel or these things is not allowed. I mean, Excel also is digital only, then it should be there. So my take is that in case of, because the transactions of inventory are flowing directly, if they are flowing directly to the books of accounts, suppose the sales entry with the inventory are directly flowing to the books of accounts, then those transactions would also be and should also be ensured that they are coming from a software which is having an edit log or audit trail. Otherwise, it would be difficult for the auditors not to report.
Okay, sir. Balance sheet
Kunal bhai, you are
is
saying
prepared.
something, sir?
Yeah, like during a session, Sanjeev sir also told like we have 8 books of accounts like sale, purchase, BR, bills receivable, bills payable, and journal. So sales return, purchase return. So all these books of accounts, you can say original books of entry, must be maintained with audit trail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay. Can we use Tally ERP 9 for audit trail? Yeah, we can. So where does all the edit log data get stored and what is the file name?
So one is whether we can use Tally ERP9 for edit log. The answer is clear no, we cannot.
Okay.
We will have to use Tally Prime edit log only. We'll have to download the latest version of Tally Prime edit log. That only we can use it. That is one. Okay. Second is there is a difference between Tally Prime and Tally ERP9. Tally ERP9 was the older version before 2.5-3 years. Okay. 2020 Tally ERP9 has been discontinued by the Tally Solutions. So now it is Tally Prime only, and Tally Prime comes with Tally Prime release 2.1. Okay, where it comes with the edit log functionality. And where does it source? It's a technical information which I am also not much aware of it. That's to where it's storing. Because as a user, we are not able to delete the edit log, or we are not able to modify the edit log, whether through normal operation or through customization. So that much I can say that users are unable to modify the edit log. So where it is stored, I will not be able to give a clear answer on that.
Okay, sir. So what is the effect of change of voucher number?
Okay, in terms of Tally, right?
Yes.
Change of voucher number is also a change, because any change, whether it is narration change or ledger change or any change, so that would be reflected in the edit log. And it would just say that there is a change in voucher numbering. That's it. Number has been changed. So those will be reflected in the total list of transaction edit log whenever we are seeing. So it will be reflected out there.
Okay, Kunal sir, can you add on it?
Yeah, definitely. In terms of Zoho books also, if you make any change in records, invoice number, bills, or even if you change any kind of amount or narration, that will also be tracked by the Zoho books.
Okay, sir. How to ensure the audit trail is preserved, especially in small companies? They format systems, data crashes, and no backups, etc. So, can you give any tips for the documentation of audit trails?
Yes. So backups, normal Tally backups or the backup system has to be enabled. Friends, again, I will come back to the changes which has been made last year, 11th of August 2022. The accounts rule want the MCA has released the circular where MCA has asked all the companies to ensure that the backup of data is available for all the days during the financial year. So for all 365 days, we should have a backup. How much we follow, what not we follow, that's a different thing. That's for the auditors to decide and to see that it is there. But the company's accounts rules clearly states that the backup of the data should be there. when they are using Tally, the Tally normal Tally format backup, when they are doing the Tally backup, the edit log details are also coming up with the version. So one can take that edit log backup and store it on a Google Drive or somewhere where they can access. When they have finalized the data, the final data also can be stored on the Google Drive or wherever it is. You can upload your TBK file so that whenever in future the government department or anybody is asking for the complete edit log information, that is available. So it is not just the print of books of accounts. You will have to ensure the backup of the data, the electronic form of the data is also available. I would request Kunal Bhai to add it from Zoho's perspective. What documentation or what would be required when the small companies are using? Yeah.
So when you like using Zoho Books, so actually all transactions or all data are saved on cloud. So you don't have to like worry about the crashing or crash of your data and any other things. But yes, if you want to comply, you need to comply with the Companies Act guidelines. So you need to keep a data backup in your external drive or any other hard disk. Then you can take a backup. You can just click a backup button, which I showed you during my presentation. You just click on settings and go to this backup button. And once you click that backup, you will get an email and you will get CSV file where you will get all your bills and everything on even documents also in CSV format, and you can keep that in your hard disk or any external drive. So yes, data backup is available on cloud, and you can keep it in your external hard disk also.
Yes, sir. After taking a backup and then restoring it, will the edit logs for the transaction and masters be available in the data?
Yes, for Tally, definitely.
Okay.
So when you extract or like you will export all the data, then audit log will also be available.
Okay, sir. Is this applicable to LLP as well?
No. As per my understanding, currently LLPs are not covered in the circular. It is all companies. The word used is companies. So LLPs are not covered in the current scenario.
Okay, sir. One of the question is from a member. He's saying many companies may enable edit log after lapse of few months in this year. So many companies may transfer data to software while edit log facility is there.
So if they are enabling edit log after lapse of the year, the professional judgment of the auditor will come into play. They will have to report it as per their judgment. That is what it is. And in case they are using any other software where edit log is not enabled, then same thing, the auditor will have to report that in the such and such data is being used electronically or they have been entered electronically, but the edit log of that particular database is not available. So it would be for the professional judgment of the auditor to decide.
This is similar question like previously asked by some member, where like from 1st April to 18th April data was like not there in audit trail accounting software. So its answer is same. Auditor need to report that like audit trail has not been followed regularly, like from this date to this date, audit trail was not available.
Okay, thank you, sir. How to verify that client has taken Tally data backup every day? Whether client allowed to is allowed to keep Tally data backup on Google Drive?
Tally data backup on Google Drive, I don't think so. There is any bar or any circular restraining it. Okay, it is for the auditor to decide or to check maybe factually that for all the 365 days whether the backup was available or not for each of those days. So this is a factual information with the auditor. Onerous responsibility has been now casted on the auditor to check whether all 365 days backup is available or not, and they will have to check it factually only. There is no other way. I mean, yes, the TBK file with Tally generates, that can be checked for which date it is. So whenever I take a backup, the time and date stamp is available in the backup itself. Okay, so one can verify that as well.
Okay, sir. What is when the tally data is sent to the auditor for audit? Does this also get logged?
So how are we sending the data? That is an important question.
Okay.
Okay, so if we are sending it through a TBK file, tally backup file, and which is generated from tally MCA compliant edit log. Okay, so if they have generated from edit log and the user also opens it in edit log, the chartered accountant or the auditor opens it in edit log, there is no log which is maintained because both of them are using the same version. In case they are not, you are opening in edit log and they are opening it in normal tally prime, that trail of the activity is kept in the software itself, and when the data comes back to the user, the data again gets migrated and that trail is kept. Okay, so that trail is available with the for the auditor to check that whether the data has been kept at all times with the edit log functionality or not. The auditor can check it definitely.
Okay. If we enter a backdated invoice received late from the forwarder, then how it will be shown?
So let me take you to that screen. Now this is Tally Prime. So today I am entering a transaction as of 15th of April. The April 22 transaction, I am entering it now. So when I go to the transaction, I can click on Alt Q and see the date and time stamp of 19th April 23 is available. I think the similar functionality would be there in Zoho as well.
Yeah, I can show you that also if you want.
So time and date stamp is available right across.
Yeah.
Whenever you are creating an earlier voucher, earlier date voucher, or any voucher.
I hope you can see my screen now. For example,
Yes,
I
sir.
am creating one invoice, and if you want me to create invoice for like 15th April, then similarly, this is the invoice, for example. You can see I have just created this invoice for like date is 15th April, but I have created this on today. So you can see on 19th April, this invoice has been created. So similar functionality is available in Zoho Books.
Okay. Whether audit trail is required for payroll records and fixed assets register also? If yes, which software is best for it?
If they have been maintained in the memorandum form, audit trail is not required. That's what I think Vishal Bhai had mentioned, or Umesh Bhai had mentioned before the during the start in our inaugural session. And if they are using any software for which the data is directly flowing in the accounting entries, there the audit trail is required. Okay, so that is where if the payroll entries are directly flowing, okay, the like your liability and the employee employee payment entries are directly flowing from the payroll software to tally software, or for that matter Zoho. So audit trail would be required in the payroll software itself. So that I'm aware. Okay.
Yeah, I'm completely agree with Puneet sir. Like if any entry is flowing from any maybe Excel or something like that, any tool, then audit trail must be available for that. And for if you would like to talk about, then Zoho payroll is available. You can check if you like, then you can sign up and create your account over there.
Zoho payroll also comes with the audit trail now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. If entry deleted and new entry is made, then?
So the trail would be there for both the entries. for the
Okay.
creation as well as for the deleted. I showed during my presentation how a deletion
Yes.
entries would is there. The number.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Same is also there in Zoho. When
Yeah.
you, even if you create, delete, modify, edit, if you do anything, data log or edit log will be available.
Okay, sir. Even putting the bank reconciliation date is treated as alteration.
Yeah, any change is treated as alteration.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, any change is treated as alteration, whether change in narration, change in functionality. In fact, I would go ahead in terms of configuration also.
Mhm.
Today, master configuration, there is some bill-wise option which is activated or deactivated. So that is also a change, is considered as a change, and that will get recorded in the edit log.
Okay, sir. Many small companies have still not done this. So do we have to report as auditor the date from when it was activated or updated?
I think we have taken up this earlier also.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Is it possible to import tally data of client in our CA tally edit log and check audit trail of client's data?
So just a clarity whether the client is maintaining it in edit log data or the client is maintaining in normal tally. So if the client is maintaining it in normal tally, and once the data is getting migrated to the auditor at the auditor's place in the edit log, you will not be able to report, as well as you will not be able to see the edited versions. Okay, the client needs to maintain in the edit log version. That is prime requirement, and that's what accounts rules also says.
Required to be documented and the same needs to be reviewed, sign off by the management of the company. Any frequency of document of edit log?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I think frequency is not notified by MCA, but for detecting fraud and errors, auditor need to check on regular basis the audit log of the company, and even as a even management need to check this whether which record has been modified, when it is modified, because there may be a chances there may be some fraud or error in cash transaction, like backdated cash has been added and transactions are going on in such a way. So this may create a suspicion, or you can say doubt in the mind of management or auditor.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Is it possible to migrate data from Tally to Zoho, vice versa?
Those tools could be available. I'm not.
Yeah. Zoho Books has facility. You can easily migrate your data from Tally to Zoho Books. There are Excel templates which are like there available in Zoho Books. So you can import all your Tally data into Zoho Books. There are Excel templates available. If you want to migrate all your sales invoices, Excel tool is there. So all invoices you can import in one go. Similarly, all bills, payment received, and everything you can import in one go.
And the same goes, maybe in Tally there is no default functionality because Tally accepts only in XML format. So there is no default functionality of importing any other books of accounts from this thing. But as mentioned by Kunal Bhai, the entire books of accounts could be transported to CSV. And once we are getting the data in CSV, some partners can customize it and get it imported to Tally. So that is a functionality which does not require much of the brain. But yes, that is a possibility which can be looked at.
Okay, sir. Please suggest a general remark oblique comment which can put in our audit reports, keeping the legal requirements in mind and simultaneously save our hands to best possible extent.
Right. So I think user will have to go through the implementation guide for this particular type, because their institute has given in detailed format what to report when the audit has been audit trail has not been kept, what to report when they have been kept partially, and what to report when they have been kept fully. So if they refer to the implementation guide, they will be able to save themselves. And friends, there our institute has also guided that what to do, what are the MRs to be taken from the management, when what are the management responsibility, and what kind of MRs we should be taking up from the management, that it is their responsibility to maintain the edit log or audit trail of the data.
Okay.
I agree with Puneet sir here, because implementation guidelines has given complete templates, like what to report. It complete templates are given with in this implementation guide. So I request every member to go through with this implementation guide, because this is very much important document which is issued by our institute.
Okay, sir. Sir, if there is an error in entry passed earlier, there are two options: either to pass ratification entry today or ratify it on date of creation. What is the better option in the context of audit trail?
So audit trail, if you see what the government is saying, that you should have a trail of the transaction. It is not saying that there is bar on editing the transaction. No, it is not saying that. It is what, as I understand, it is saying that whatever you do, that needs to get recorded, maybe like a camera or whatever it is. So if the software allows you to edit the transaction and with the trail, I don't think so there is a bar on that particular functionality. But I have seen some softwares like SAP where the user are not able to edit the transaction itself, and there we do not have a choice but to pass a reversal entry or pass a new entry. So there the user will not have a choice but to pass a reverse entry. But it is upon the user to decide as to what is the next action they have to take.
So yeah, I would like to add up some things here. Like Puneet bhai is absolutely correct. Government is not saying that you cannot like do any kind of edit or modification. You can do your modification and you can do edits in your records, but you need to maintain a proper records for that. You must have like a proper audit trail for that. One more thing I would like to add up here more. Like in recent update of Zoho books, update for the month of April, you can do one thing, like as an admin, you can restrict your users from deleting the records. Like only admin can delete the records. Any other user cannot delete the records. He can just edit it or maybe modify it, but deletion you can strictly restrict to like the admin personnel or maybe main person in the organization. So this will help you like in tracking all the changes made in the accounting software. So user cannot delete any entry. He just need to pass a rectify entry once you enable this function. So this is a recent update made in Zoho.
Okay, sir. Is there any implications on company if we give qualified report for audit trail?
I think that has already been taken up earlier because the audit trail was not kept for the entire year, and that qualification has been given by the auditor. So there could be a penalty clause as to general accounts rules that the proper books of accounts have not been kept. So that is the implication that I understand. That might have penalty or again an adverse remark from the MCA itself.
Okay. Right now the questions questions are finished. We're done with it. Anil sir, I would request you to please give vote of thanks for the session, sir.
Thank you so much, Priyanshu ji, for taking up the question answer session. On behalf of Auditing and Assurance Standard Board of Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, as well as Committee for Members in Practice of Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, I extend my heartiest.
Thank you so much, sir, and thanks a lot for your support and giving us this opportunity to hosting this webinar along with the AASB.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much on behalf of AASB and CMP of ICAI for towards the board, the learned speaker, Shri Puneet Mehta ji as well as Kunal Kumar ji for sparing the valuable time. As the topic is the need of the hour, as well as on a very shorter notice, we have decided this webinar, and both the learned speaker has acceded to our request on a very shorter notice to deliberate on this today's working time period. So from the core of my heart, as well as on behalf of AASB and CMP of ICAI, I extend my warm thanks to you and heartiest thanks to you for sparing your valuable time. And more than 60 or 70 questions we have taken during this 50 minutes and 55 minutes. And all the questions you have taken up, both the learned speaker have taken both the all the questions in a very efficient manner. Hope our members have gained a lot, and all their queries have solved relating to this how to use this audit trail, and relating to both these softwares. And both the learned speakers have given their expert opinion on all the aspects. So once again, thank you to both the learned speaker, and thank you so much, sir, and thank you so much, Priyanshu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to our
Thank
eminent
you.
speakers. Thanks a lot for taking this
Thank
session.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
and thank you participants for being here. And on these working days, of course, we speakers, I and Kunal Bhai has been here, but all the participants, 2000 plus participants, I'm really thankful for thankful to the institute for arranging this program, and look forward for more such communications from the institute's perspective. Thank you.
Puneet ji, I would like to add, at the working day as well as on this afternoon time period, more than still 2605 members are live.
Oh.
Still 2605 members are live.
That's very huge number. So
Yes.
So I would like to then thank Auditing and Assurance Standard Board of ICAI and Committee of Members in Practice. And so, like, it's a very important topic because it will help in creating confusion, in resolving confusion in all our professional members. So I hope from financial year 23-24 we will implement this audit log very much easy and simplified manner, and this webinar will create more awareness in our members.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kunal. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good day. Thank you, sir.